If you're just joining us right now, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys I don't know what the hell we're doing party, because we just found out that DeShawn Watson has been traded to the Cleveland Browns in a surprise move where Atlanta thought for sure that they had him, to the point where they told Matty Ice to seek a trade, and they put off his $7.5 million roster bonus money till next Tuesday, and now we're going to have to eat crow and go back to him for another year, where DeShawn Watson goes to the Browns, gets paid $46 million a year for 5 years, fully guaranteed. Let me say that again, fully guaranteed. The thing that I don't understand, as we have gone through and we've heard Stephen Jones literally say, we believe in our own free agents because we know what we're going to get with them, and that you don't go out and get other free agents because you end up taking average free agents and you pay them good money. You take good free agents and you pay them great money, and you play great free agents like they're exceptional free agents, and you can't build a team that way. He has sold us on that. He has sold us on the fact that he says that we can't afford to keep Cedric Wilson because he's going to be too expensive. That we can't keep, even though we found him as a free agent punter who's a Pro Bowler. We go through and we end up taking a Jaron Curse, a guy who played the best safety play we've had in probably 20 plus years, and we decide you're a specialty player and we're going to pay you as that, and we're going to lowball you to the point where he literally says, it just deletes every picture he has of being in Dallas Cowboys on his Instagram. We take D-Law, DeMarcus Lawrence, and basically say, if we cut you, it's $19 million cap hit. How about we just give you a 1-year deal for, $10 million to call it even? To the point where he says, screw you, release me. We go through, we devalue Amari Cooper and only get a 5th-round pick and a swap of 6, while the Green Bay Packers have a little bit of a beef about the contract that they want, and he doesn't want to play with Aaron Rodgers anymore. And they end up being able to get a 1st-round and a 2nd-round draft pick in this year's draft for a guy, and it doesn't cost them anything. And, oh, by the way, we're paying $6 million this year to Amari Cooper. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, who only have $1.4 million of cap space, find money to be able to sign Juju. And back to the Cleveland Browns. They only had $16 million of cap room. $16 million of cap room. If they don't trade Baker Mayfield, they will take an $18 million cap hit, somehow find $46 million a year to pay DeShawn Watson. We've seen the Buffalo Bills, who are also tight on cap, be able to find a way to sign Von Miller to $17 million a year. Von Miller, who had interest in coming to the Cowboys, that Stephen Jones didn't even try to lowball to get him here. We also have, of course, and people will say, oh, the Cowboys were all in their right to go ahead and try and get money back. Listen, that's some bullshit, okay? Eddie B, shout out to you on the Super Chat. But hold on. The Jones family is is out their freaking minds. We need a few extra pieces. But we're not getting extra pieces. We're losing pieces. We get back Van Der Esch, at $3 million, and I'm sure Stephen Jones is feeling great that we got him for only $3 million. Well, he wasn't good enough for us to get over the hump last year. Your big prize is we re-sign Michael Gallup, who probably is not going to be ready to start the season, which means you ended up losing Amari Cooper. You ended up losing Cedric Wilson. And you may not have Michael Gallup. So your 3 of your 4 best receivers, you may be starting the season without. And as that, you also lost two starting offensive linemen, in Lyle Collins and Connor Williams. You got no compensation for Lyle Collins. So your offensive line is in worse shape. Your receiving core is now slim. You lost your own player that you targeted to bring back. But here's where it's kind of crazy. You lost him a couple of days ago. It would say if we were going to spend $13 million for keeping Randy Gregory and you lose him, we've got $13 million that we should use to replace him because clearly we felt we needed that position filled. And what do you do with Zavaris Smith? I know I butcher his name. You lowball him to where he says, you know what, I'm going to go to Baltimore. Now, you have a second chance with him apparently, but it seems like even though you have found money, you're not willing to spend this. Anybody? Did I miss anything else? Did I miss anything else? Because we are the only team in the NFL right now that has not signed a free agent that is not of their own. That is a fact. We are right now the laughingstock of the NFL. Luke Gifford, I'm sorry, I forgot. We also re-signed Luke Gifford. Thank you, Gina. Luke Gifford is one of our way back up linebackers. So right now, here's what we have for defensive ends. We have D-Ware. Excuse me, not DeMar. I wish we had D-Ware. I'm sorry, DeMarcus Lawrence. We just re-signed, what's his name? With the A, okay? Micah Parsons is there. Our linebacker room now consists of Luke Gifford, Jabril Cox, who was injured half the year, Van Der Esch, who seems like he's injured all the year, and Micah Parsons, who will have to play both ways. Probably the thought is Micah Parsons can do it all, because Micah Parsons might have to play wide receiver this year. Micah Parsons may have to play wide receiver this year. He's going to play defensive end. He's going to have to play linebacker. But if you are a player right now, and Luke Gifford, Van Der Esch, that's your big help that you're bringing Micah Parsons, and you've already lost Randy Gregory, and maybe you lose Jaron Kearse. If you're Micah Parsons, it's kind of like, where's the troops? Where's the cavalry? What are you doing to me? Here's the problem. They may hit. Okay, you have to understand that the draft. Maybe they hit a home run. Maybe. Well, guess what? Not all these teams are hitting home runs in free agency. But not all of them have to. Some of these teams have really improved themselves. You cannot say that the Cowboys are even the same as they were. They are worse than they were the end of the season. The Cowboys have literally gotten worse. There's no, no, we've gotten worse. And you can't expect for the draft to take a whole class of rookies and think that all of a sudden they're going to elevate you up to the place where these other teams are. We're falling behind. And you have to understand, herein lies the problem. We rely solely on the draft, and we get some good players. But you have to supplement that with decent ones as well through free agency. And so the Cowboys keep getting these guys, and they're here for 1 year. They're here for 1 year. Mark D, you're 100% right. We couldn't run the football. Right. Which is why now, here's the problem. Now you got a hold linebacker, you got a hold defensive end, you got a hold wide receiver, you got a hold an offensive line. Instead of making less positions you have to draft for and out of need, instead of being able to take the best player available, now you have holes at linebacker, holes at defensive end, holes at wide receiver, holes at offensive line. And you got 8 picks. Are you actually believing that you're going to be able to get 6 guys that are going to be immediate day one starters? Because that's what you're going to end up needing. So, yeah. So that's where we are, people.